The disruptive technologies in the energy and natural resources sector is something that has been talked about a lot by all of our clients. A number of our practices in renewable energy, they've moved to decentralisation. We're seeing an increase in battery storage, off-grid solutions.
Things like smart meters, where if you change people's energy usage at the bottom of the chain, then you can start creating smarter grid, you can start bringing more renewables in. And I think that's a really interesting example of how the tech is driving a change.
We've seen a number of kind of new and evolving business models driven by technology. So some of the potential for blockchain solutions, we're still probably a little bit on the hype curve at the moment in terms of actual seeing proper adoption. But I think the essential ingredients there are really available to drive change.
And there's lots of issues also around, how do you make sure the grid still works as a grid, where you're losing customers on one hand to do microgrids, and making sure that even on top of having a resilient grid that is there to be used with all of these changes, because clearly you need to incentivize investment. You don't necessarily do that with a framework that's geared towards big generation plants. Getting to something that is slightly more focused on decentralized support and grid management is something it's going to be a big change in the market as well.
What DLA Piper events to do is highlight issues around battery technology, for example, that might change. A lot of people are talking about things, the idea of second life of batteries. DLA Piper's their particular piece of research is they're actually saying, well, actually one of the issues you may have with those battery packs is that the more they're used, the poorer they are at recharging, because as they go through a lot of cycles, they basically degrade. Quite interesting to see someone saying that might not be the solution. And I think it's actually very sensible asking those questions, because then you start asking questions of the manufacturers, you start then working out maybe these batteries will work, these batteries won't. And that's why I think it's particularly valuable.
So the pressures on the grid and the need to have more renewable energy and new ways of making the most of the renewable energy we have. So we can really see how all of these technology disruptions are actually creating the kind of perfect environment for the energy transition to happen.